Taylor here, coming to you with a lesson on what I'm calling a party trick. So maybe you've been in a situation where you're with friends and family, maybe hanging out, and you thought, man, it'd be really cool if I could just grab my guitar right now and sound cool and impress some people. We all want to do that, right? So this is a really cool riff that will allow you to do that. It's very, very beginner friendly, and it is so beginner friendly that you only have to move one finger for this entire riff. So it's really, really easy, guys, but it also allows you to get in maybe some different kinds of practice. This is a picking riff, so you can really focus on working on picking your strings accurately and not having to worry about moving your fingers around into crazy positions here. And it also sounds awesome. So let's go ahead and learn this cool little party trick riff. I'm going to walk you through it step by step, show you exactly how it works so that you can pick up your guitar and sound awesome. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and learn this cool little party trick, as I'm calling it. This is something really beautiful that you can play. It's relatively easy, and it's something where you can just kind of grab your guitar and instantly sound really good. So let's go ahead and start learning this. You're going to start by grabbing what's called an A sus2 chord. So the chord name sounds more complicated than the chord itself. It's just a 2-finger chord. You're going to grab the D string 2nd fret with your 2nd finger. And you're going to grab the G string 2nd fret with your ring finger. And we're going to pick strings individually with this little riff here. But you can strum that out a few times, just get that sounding good. When we strum the chord, we want to strum from the A string down. We don't want to strum that low E string. So strum that out, get those strings ringing out. If you have any trouble getting any strings to ring clearly, go ahead and play with your thumb position a little bit. This will kind of change the way your fingers are placed on the fretboard, and oftentimes moving your thumb down more will get your fingers out of the way if there is any dead notes in there. So once you got that chord, get comfortable because you're just going to pretty much stay there the whole time. You're not even going to have to move your fingers except for one finger. So hopefully everybody can handle that, right? We're just gonna have to move one finger, and I'll explain that as we go here. But go ahead and grab that A sus2 chord, and here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna pick the strings individually. We're gonna start with the open A string, and then the D string, G string, B string, then we're gonna go back to G, and back to D. And so overall there's 6 notes in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And what that does is it's gonna have us play in kind of a 3/4 timing feel, which is something a little bit unique as well. Another reason that this sounds really cool. So when we pick those notes, the way we're gonna count that is we're gonna think 1 and 2 and 3 and. So we say and to kind of count what's called eighth notes. I won't go into a big explanation on that right now, but basically just think you're counting 1 and 2 and 3 and. Okay, so that's kind of how you're counting that picking pattern. A couple little tips here with your picking. Whenever you're going this direction on the strings, meaning you're going from low strings to higher strings, you're going to always do down plucks. And anytime you're going this direction from higher strings to lower strings, you're going to do up plucks. So the way we would pluck this is we'd go down, 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 up, up. So down on the way to the higher strings and up on the way to the lower strings. All right, so just keep holding that chord. And then all we're gonna do to kind of get this sounding really cool is we're just gonna change the starting note. So just now we started with an open A string, right? And I'm gonna recommend that you do each pattern here twice. So we can do that pattern that we just covered 2 times, starting with the open A string. And then all we're going to do is we're just going to change the starting note. So now instead of starting with A string, I'm going to have you start with the 2nd fret of the low E. So this is where you'll have to do one movement, just one finger movement is all. You're going to add your index finger to the low E string 2nd fret and keep that A sus2 chord. Keep that 2nd and 3rd finger right where they were. You're never going to move those for this little riff. And you're just going to add in index finger, low E string 2nd fret. And now we're going to pick exactly the same way, except we're going to not use the A string. We're going to instead use the low E as our starting point with that 2nd fret held down. But all the other strings will be the same. So we're going to pick low E, D, G, B, G, D. And then we're going to do each one twice. Let's do all that again. Right, so you can see that's the exact same pattern as before. Just changing that first note. And now we're going to change that first note again. So now you can get rid of that index finger, and we're just going to do a nice open E string this time. So open E, and then the rest of the notes are the same. E, D, G, B, G, D. That twice. And now if you put all that together, it starts to sound really beautiful. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. And now switch to that low note. 1 and 2 and 3 and 2 and 3 and open E this time. And we're going to go back to A and do that twice. Open A. So just with changing that bass note a little bit and with one single chord and a picking pattern, we can start to sound really cool and have a nice little party trick under our belts. And you can play this fast or slow, guys, so it totally sounds awesome still if you slow that down and just take your time with it. Right, so you could absolutely take it at whatever speed you want. It still sounds beautiful either way. And just one more quick note on this. The way I'll recommend you do it is, again, do each chord, each starting note twice. So we'll start with A, do it again, then go to that 2nd fret of the low E string. We'll do that pattern twice. Then the open E. And then we're going to do A twice again as the end of the riff. And then you'll restart with that open A as well. So you'll end up doing that open A pattern 4 times in a row as you loop this around. Start over right now. Alright, you get the idea. So really cool party trick. You could also do it in different orders, obviously. You can pick the strings a little differently. You could do it for different lengths of time on each chord. So absolutely mess around with it, have fun with it, but that will really get you sounding cool. And let me give you one more thing that you can kind of add in optionally. So if you do want to actually move your fingers a little bit here, another chord you can throw into the mix here is called a D sus2. And so that's just a regular D chord with an open E string. So just take your 2nd finger off the E string. So you have an open E string up there. And we could pick that in the same way. We're just going to start with the D string this time. So we're going D, G, B, E, B, G. So still 6 notes, just starting on that D string this time. 1 and 2 and 3 and, right? And then we could also throw in an E major chord. So you can grab your E major chord. We'll use the low E string as our starting point for this one. And then the other strings will be the same. So it'll be E, D, G, B, G, D. And basically you can kind of throw in these 2 chords at the end of the riff. So if you kind of wanted to optionally add those in, it might sound like this. Start over. All right, so lots of cool stuff to play around with there, guys. Again, you can kind of make it your own, but take these basic ideas to have a nice little party trick under your belt. And this is also really great practice for your picking. So you're not, doing too much here with your fretting hand, just moving a finger or two, maybe changing a chord or two. And that really allows you to focus on this picking hand and really start working on the accuracy in picking those strings. All right, guys, well, there you have it. There's a cool little party trick for you that will allow you to pick up your guitar and pretty much instantly sound awesome without even needing to move your fingers too much, right? So it doesn't get too much better than that. If you guys could do me a favor, I would really appreciate it if you could hit the like and subscribe button on this video if you enjoyed it. It really helps support the channel, and I very much appreciate that. And then also, guys, if you check the description below this video, I have a PDF for you. It's completely free, where I tabbed out this riff. You can go ahead and grab that, print it out, so you can keep practicing this one and really get it down. And then last but not least, guys, check out the link in the description for guitar building blocks if you need any help with your guitar playing. In guitar building blocks, we learn the 7 fundamentals of playing guitar. We cut out all the extra noise, focus on what really matters, and we use muscle memory to help us learn quickly. All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning into this lesson. I will see you in the next one.